was good.
Yeah, then I screwed it up. Welcome to Justin's No Name Podcast. Our first guest is Jim Corvin. I tried to come up with a funny name.
Hey, guys.
Our first question for all of our guests. What's your dream car?
My dream car is a 58 Corvette. Black. White inlay. White leather interior. 283 4-speed.
Boom. It's my dream car too now.
Yeah.
Why is that your favorite car?
Dad had one. Fresh out of the Army. Job at the post office. No kids, no family. Went and bought a brand new Corvette off a brown Chevrolet's floor. Drove it around Dayton. Then he got married and he had kids. He traded it in on a Corvair. So he went from a Corvette to a Corvair.
That's terrible.
Well,
it's your fault.
That ought to teach you something. If you like fast cars, don't get married.
What do you do for a living, Jim Corvin?
I am a director of engineering at Storm Power Components.
Do you remember not hiring me for a job at Lazy
I
Boy?
do. I interviewed you. I remember that. I remember that. You interviewed well. You had like 15 associate's degrees.
Yeah.
But
at Lazy Boy.
No upholstery experience.
No, it's horrible.
Yeah. So we had to pass.
Did you love Lazy Boy?
I did like Lazy Boy. I done 20 years there.
Wow.
They took care of me.
Do you remember the first time I thought about going to Lazy Boy and they sent me to you? Was it in the sofa plant?
Probably. Plant 19.
And I was probably 19 years old, and they said they paged you, and I met you at the sofa plant, and you said, "Here's the job. Do not take this job."
Did I?
Do you remember that?
Did I tell you to go back to school?
Yes.
Oh, you should have to pay for
Do
that.
not
You
come
should have
here.
had to pay for that advice. That's like Dr. Phil stuff.
I was like, "Yes, sir." And then I went back to school.
Attaboy.
That's
Now look at you.
That's good. All right, so your dad was Charlie Dean Corvin.
Yeah.
And he was singing with my grandpa, Charles,
Yeah.
both dead.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite memory from that?
Oh, man. I can remember as a kid traveling to these homecomings that all the churches had.
Yeah.
And we would like travel down to like Alabama and Georgia. And I remember going in some of these churches that like, I can remember like popcorn finished ceilings
Yeah.
and just light bulbs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
8-foot ceilings, light bulbs. And people screaming and
Dancing.
shouting and dancing and eating good chicken afterwards.
Yeah.
That's why they got so fat.
They were all fat.
They were-
Except for Harold.
He never got
Harold
fat.
never got fat. So that's your favorite memory from the Travis Quartet
I remember the
and
Travis-
Charlie Dean Corvin?
Yeah. And the Lighthouse.
And
they
Tom.
always sung the Lighthouse. And my dad would sing lead. And then your grandfather would come in there on that high tenor.
Yeah.
And
Girl voice.
Hey, they could sing it.
So there's a story. I met a guy at the ministry center whose dad was the pastor of North Chattanooga Church of God. And Nana had told me this story before, but I'd never really confirmed it. They went to North Chattanooga in like the 70s, and they were unloading their instruments. And this was before we got into instruments in the Church of God. And the pastor comes out and says, "What are y'all doing? What is this for?"
Mm-hmm.
And they said, "Well, we have instruments, and this is what we do." He said, "You ain't doing it here." So all of them had to load the instruments back into the truck, and they left. They got kicked out of their own church.
It's okay.
It's crazy.
Go where you're celebrated.
That's right. That is right. What is your biggest failure? I know.
So it comes with a story, probably. But probably the biggest failure was East Ridge Fitness.
Oh, yeah.
We took a nice little gym from East Ridge, bought it.
With great history.
Great history. And we ruined
We
it.
fell in love with it.
we ruined that gym.
Yeah.
We tried to turn it into a powerlifting gym.
Yeah.
Darren Webb, please forgive us.
Nobody likes powerlifting.
Nobody likes powerlifters. They hate them.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
They're jerks.
They're terrible. I love them. For the record, I love powerlifting. But everybody
Lord.
hates powerlifters. I mean, look, they leave the equipment nasty.
They are nasty.
They are nasty. Their knee sleeves stink. They leave chalk all over the floors. And you know what the worst thing is? They don't pay for their membership.
Yeah. We spent most of our lives tracking people down.
Yeah, sneaking people in. But
For
hey,
what? $25.
it's a lesson learned. The gym industry is a terrible place to be.
Don't listen to TikTok. Those guys lie.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
I wouldn't own a gym, a restaurant, or a dairy farm.
A dairy farm.
No, you're there all the time. Forget that. I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. and milking cows.
Yeah, for real.
And I'm not chasing grown men for $25.
Yeah. Idiots. So if you still owe us money, we still have our square set up, and I still get emails saying that you owe us money.
Yeah.
So if you will, hit that link in your email and pay us what you owe from 10. How long has it been since we closed?
Oh, gosh. We let it go like 21, right?
Yeah,
So
it was during COVID.
COVID, the pandemic happened. Yeah. That kind of hurt us. We lost about half our membership.
Because they were still wanting rent, and we had no income.
But you know what? I don't know if Bobby Hudgens will hear this.
He won't.
He was the best.
He hates me.
He may hate you.
But I love him.
He was the best landlord ever. When COVID hit, he forgave us a month's rent.
Yeah.
Never forget that.
He's a good guy.
Good guy.
And I'm moving on from there. That's all I have to say about that. We did really good the first year.
We did.
We were down there a lot.
We lived out of it.
Yeah, it was great. But then COVID hit, and then I was like, we're paying this rent. I'm going to work out. Did I ever tell you this about getting kicked out by the sheriff's department?
Tell it. They need to hear it.
So I went to the gym because we was paying rent regardless. So I said, if I'm going to work out, I'm going to work out at my own gym.
Now, mind you, this is when no assembly of people was allowed.
Full-blown COVID.
Gyms were shut down.
Yep.
Thanks.
I was able to work out with no clothes on at Eastridge Fitness.
Because nobody's in there.
Nobody's there. Nobody's on the roads except for the sheriff's department. At 5 a.m. I would work out, and the sheriff's department would come over. They came over 2 or 3 times, and I was a little bit hyped up on some pre-workouts and some supplements. So the guy knocks on the door and says, I'm going to need you to leave. And I said, I'm going to need you to leave. And then he said, this is COVID. You're not allowed to work out. And I said, I own this place and I will work out whenever I want to. He said, well, then I'll have to take you to jail. I said, if you think that's what you need to do, you better go get help.
Yeah.
And then slammed the door in his face.
I think I ended up calling the chief after that.
Yeah, they quit bothering me after a couple of times.
Well, I think truly what happened was I called one of the guys that was working out at the gym that was a policeman.
Secretly.
He will remain nameless.
Secretly.
Yeah, and they let us go.
So stupid.
Sometimes it's better to talk things out rather than...
I'm not the talker.
He's not
Jim's
that
the
guy.
talker. Jim's the talker.
I can bring peace to a situation. Justin is the other end of that
I'm going to
stick.
blow it up. Write that down. I will blow you up. All right, if you could go back and give your 18-year-old self a piece of advice, what would it be? So Jim, just for the record, has worked his way up into management his entire life. He's always been there. It's where he lives. Also an entrepreneur, also a business owner. He does how many rentals now?
13.
13 rental properties, which is a hard job.
Can be.
I would
you're not set up
never do it
correctly.
again. Yep.
Oh, man, I love it.
So if you could go back now as yourself and know all that you know, what would you tell your 18-year-old
So
self?
here's probably something that it really didn't resonate to me until I got a little bit older. But my brother told me one time, scared money doesn't make money.
It's good.
And didn't really know what he was talking about. But Look, if you're looking to open up a business or start rental properties or start a catering truck or something, just do it.
Yeah.
Man, just do it because, my son-in-law wants to start a landscaping business. I fully support people like that. Both of my daughters, I raised them the same way. Abigail, she went and got her marketing degree, and she does a lot of contract work.
Yep.
And it's growing. And she's got some things in queue that's really going to set her apart. Ashton, my youngest daughter, is 15. Well, when she was 15 years old, I drove her to her first wedding. She owns her own business.
That's cool.
And you know what? It's not always about the money. Do the things that you love doing, and money will follow.
Yep.
But don't be afraid. Scared money never made any. So
That's good.
Just jump. Don't wait around for it. Just go.
Yeah, that's good. A lot of people get stuck in the planning stage.
Paralysis by analysis.
Yep.
They worry about, what if I can't do this? What if I can't? When I started the rental business, I would say everybody that talked to me about it was like, you're crazy.
I was one of them.
Yeah, he was. Don't do it. You'll hate it. Oh, gosh, you thought you were chasing gym memberships. Now you're going to be chasing rent.
Rent checks.
Look, it's all about relationship. I mean, we make sure we put the right people in there. We've had a couple bums, but for the most part, it works itself out and price yourself out of the trouble. And
yeah.
There's things that you need to learn, but I learned them the hard way.
Yeah.
First rental I had, I was barely making any money on it whatsoever. It was, as a matter of fact, the first rental that I had, I was in halves with my brother, and I was having to put about $200 a month with it just to make the payment.
Yeah.
And then, even Kim was frustrated, and I was frustrated too. But then, I kept it for 5 years and sold it and made $80,000 on it. And,
yeah.
It's an appreciating asset.
Yeah.
So
some things you make up front, some things you make on the end.
There you go. So it's getting a little technical, but the question was, could I talk to my 18-year-old self? Quit being scared about stuff.
Yeah. Was you scared at 18?
I didn't know who I was at 18.
How long did it take?
I'm 53 now.
And you know now.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out. Kim laughs at me, but the truth is, I'll have ideas all the time. I wake up and just like, you know what, I'm tired of rentals. Let's do something else.
Yeah.
Who knows where I'll be next year.
There was a trainer years ago that I talked to, and he had a program called Ready, Fire, Aim. He said too many people get stuck at aim, so he got rid of it. And he said, get ready and go do it. It was in the mortgage business. So they told us just to go out and mess everything up and then figure it out, recalibrate, and do it over again.
Yeah.
So that's a good policy.
Yeah. Make bad decisions, you learn and go on.
I've made a lot of bad decisions in my days. Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
Oh, man, I don't know.
I think you're an extrovert.
Yeah.
If we go out, Jim is out.
I'm out.
You're out. Talking to people, strangers.
I've had a lot of people say, what, are you running for mayor? Every time I walk into a place, I'll
Road
shake
supervisor.
somebody's hand or something like that. Don't go there. But yeah, I'm an extrovert. Yeah.
That's good. I wish I was. Biggest pet peeve?
Oh, man. Poorly run businesses.
Yep.
Let me back that up a little bit. Two things. I hate to go to a business and see that it's just poorly run.
Yeah.
And it's the little things that bother me.
Let me check your microphone. We're good.
Probably,
poorly run business.
If I don't have that many pet peeves, but if you were to ask my daughters, it's probably if I'm at a drive-through.
Yep.
And I've got my family, 2 girls in the back and a wife to the side. And I'd like to have, because the menu never changes, right?
Same menu for 157 years.
I'd like to have 2 number 2s, number 3, and a number 4. Was that 2 number 2s? And what was the rest of your order? You got one job.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We might need to cut.
And it's not just fast food either. It's
No, it's
everywhere. So when I got in the car business years ago, they told me, Casey Pendleton, Charlie Rogers Ford, he said it's so easy to excel in any business with just the minimal amount of effort.
Yeah.
And that's really sad, especially in the car business, because the car business is terrible. All you car business people, you're terrible. You suck. That was awkward.
Pet peeves. Yeah, I don't know. I probably need to
What about people that walk out of restaurants slow? Is that just me?
It's just you.
Oh my God, that woman today, Lord.
Well, what about the one that you're trying to get off of an elevator
Yeah.
and they try to get in it before you get off of it?
Oh yeah.
Give me some space. Because I'm a fat guy. I've got to have both doors.
Anything involving humans. My God. What's your biggest challenge right now facing your businesses?
Oh man, it's probably mortgage rates
Yeah.
and house pricing.
Yeah. So what are we doing with that?
Oh, well.
Going up or down?
Well, the prices continue to go up.
Yeah.
You know, inflation's crazy.
Are you paying too much for houses to get them?
Absolutely. Everybody's paying too
I
much.
agree.
And the mortgage rates are outrageous.
Yep.
But, you know, it'll right size itself.
So in the 80s,
But if you're out there going to buy a house, don't let that mortgage rate scare you. It's coming down.
buy you a house.
But it's not going to be down in the 2s. It's not going to be down in the 3s. I think 5's probably the new normal.
And you don't think it's going to slow down locally?
No. We're in a housing shortage.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to have
I've
a
heard
house. It's, I think the last count I had, and somebody will probably correct me on this, but the last time I seen it, we were $6 million houses short nationwide.
Wow.
And I'm sure that's getting worse.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't build them quick enough.
Yeah. Who is this? Have you heard about this development they're putting back here on Graysville Road? Oh, Graysville Road.
Yeah.
He's building like 200 houses or something.
I don't know the developer. I think Diller's doing all the work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of houses.
Yeah, for us locally, that's crazy.
It's a lot.
Because I'll be honest with you, most of you guys have bad credit. So we need, I swear, y'all are the worst with credit, guys. Y'all locally, my goodness.
JT can fix it.
I can do a credit
fix
class.
your credit.
I promise you. I will fix it and then sell you a car and then, I don't know, whatever. But seriously, just pay your bills. That's all you have to do is just pay your bills.
You're going to get thrashed. You can't say that.
They can't. 95% of the people that come in here can't buy nothing.
There was a time none of us could.
That's crazy. I'm going to leave that one right there. Next question. Would you suggest someone being the head of engineering? What was your title?
The title's crazy. It's director of.
I would have never guessed that.
It's director of strategic operations. So
Yeah.
I buy capital equipment, stuff like
At
that. Right?
Storm. Are we allowed to say Storm?
Yeah. Storm manufacturer, Storm power.
Do you need
components.
some copper components?
Yep. We can do it.
You'll make it. How much
Would I
was the last
recommend it?
piece of equipment you bought?
Oh gosh. Well, the last piece wasn't expensive. It was only about 80 grand.
Wow, that's cheap.
Yeah. But I have bought some $1 million pieces of machinery, and that's just, in the world of manufacturing, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
So get into manufacturing, kids. Specifically copper.
there's good money in manufacturing completely. Lazy Boy's made a good living.
Lazy Boy, for the record, is terrible, and I hate that place.
That's absolutely incorrect. Lazy Boy has provided a lot of housing and put a lot of food in people's mouths.
This is why we were a good partnership.
Lazy Boy is a great place to work.
They ruined my life.
I don't think Lazy Boy ruined your life.
All right, maybe my decisions. We'll go with my decisions.
Yeah, we'll stay right there.
To work at Lazy Boy.
I've done 20 years there, and I'm telling you, they were great.
I did 5, and I was the best employee they ever had, and Jim wouldn't even hire me for a job.
Well, he was overqualified.
Wow. I have never heard that,
Yeah.
except for in the bedroom.
That's an offhand compliment.
You read a lot of books, and when I say read, you listen to them.
Yeah.
What's
Audio
your?
books. I hate reading.
I can't read.
I can't stand it. My ADD kicks in or something.
I can hear words.
Yeah. So I listen to a lot of books.
So what is your favorite book? The last one you told me was a book from that guy that talks funny.
Which one are we talking about?
My brain.
I've read a lot of books.
My
My
brain
favorite
just
book
went
is The
blank.
Millionaire Next Door.
Okay.
Everybody
That down.
Everybody needs to read or listen to The Millionaire Next Door. And that's a pretty good segue into talking about success in business.
Yep.
The Millionaire Next Door, if I gave you a 10-second summary, is, it's delay and gratification.
Yes.
Do you know what the number one vehicle that millionaires buy?
Toyota Camry.
No, it's not true.
Stop it.
F-150s.
Really? Why? Because
Not-
you can write it off?
Not Mercedes, not Lexus. They buy it for their businesses and they write them off.
Yeah.
They don't spend a dime unless it returns money.
Yep. That's good.
If you look like you got a lot of money, most likely you don't.
Yep. And that's a lesson for me.
Look,
I like to pretend.
hold on. Let's get something straight.
Why do I keep leaning towards the camera?
You're making a point.
Oh.
JT is the tightest human being I've ever met.
That's probably true.
This cat could buy any vehicle he wants. But he won't.
But at the same time.
But he won't. And that's the Millionaire Next Door. That's what you got to learn from it.
So Jim's drove the same truck for
I
what?
bought it brand new in
18 years?
06.
And he can buy any town he wants.
No, that's not true. But I can afford
One house at a time.
I can buy any truck I wanted,
Yeah. That's what's cool.
but I won't buy it.
So I have this thing where I like to look like I have more than I do.
No, I don't believe that.
I feel like that's what I feel like.
Nah.
In reality, these pants are from Walmart. This shirt was also from Walmart. But I spend money in stupid places, and that's all we're going to say about that. I spend money on stupid things, and I'm not doing that no more. Okay? Let's just leave that right there. Let's do that. That's a good plan.
Put a pin in it.
We'll put a pin in that. We'll talk about that later. My goodness. My favorite book was Millionaire 101.
Never read it.
You remember when you didn't hire me for that job at Lazy Boy?
Oh my gosh, are we going there again?
I even read a book for that interview.
So here's the deal.
I read a book just to have an interview with my friend Jim.
So if I would have hired you for that job,
If you would have, I would have been rich at Lazy
no,
Boy.
you wouldn't have been rich.
I would have been working at
most
Storm
likely-
Copper.
Most likely,
Because we would have been best friends.
Most likely,
From
I
R&D.
would have delayed your success. So you stayed there building footrest or whatever you done, stocking or whatever.
Yeah, it was horrible.
And then you got tired of that.
But I was the best.
And he went out and bought like a bunch of real estate.
50.
Now you own a car lot.
Yeah.
Self-sufficient.
Look at that. Just think next time you get demoted or not promoted, you could have a car lot.
It wasn't in the plan.
It was not in the plan. I agree.
Delayed
with that.
gratification.
Yep.
Just
That's
because you think it's what you're supposed to do and it's what you want, look at the bigger picture.
That's right.
I probably done JT a favor.
You did.
That's why we're such good friends.
By not giving me a job.
You had a job.
I had a terrible job.
Quit whining.
Let's talk about Lazy Boy. I'm just kidding. Let's not talk about Lazy Boy. I'll
Lazy
get
Boy's-
mad.
Lazy Boy's a
We'll
good
probably get killed if we talk about Lazy Boy.
Lazy was a good place.
It's a great place.
Absolutely.
So Millionaire 101 was a book that I read like 20-something years ago. And it's about simple and compound interest. I think we've had this conversation. We talked about how the differences between simple and compounding are dramatically different. And I tried this a couple times, but because of divorces, it's never
Had a few of those.
had a few of those. It's never actually come to fruition for me, but for normal people, I think it would be a great idea to read Millionaire 101. But it talks about taking your home equity or cash, if you've got $100,000, and your mortgage for $100,000 over 30 years, payments equal $300,000 on 6% interest. If you take that $100,000 that you just took out of your home equity and put it in compounding interest, making the same 6%, but compounding monthly, in that exact same 30 years, that $300,000 you're paying back is $1 million.
Yep.
So anybody can be a millionaire.
Anybody.
But you're going to pay for that $100,000 over 30 years.
And you're going to delay a lot of gratification.
Yeah, for sure. Ain't no partying and going out.
Look, tax returns are about to come back. Everybody's excited.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
gonna
we
run
got our
out.
first one today.
They're going to run out and get their windows tinted or something like
Their
that.
cocaine.
Listen, you can spend that $400, $500, $2,000, $8,000, whatever you get back. You can spend it or catch up on your bills, and that's not a bad deal. Catch up on your bills, that's good. Or you can take that $8,000 and put it in a CD right now.
Yeah.
And then turn it into a little bit more than that.
Someday.
Let it work.
But we won't.
And just put off tinting those windows or buying that PT Cruiser. Or
Wow. I was at the dealership when the PT Cruisers come out. I wanted one
isn't that
so
what you just? No, that's a Mini.
bad.
What'd you just sell?
Mini Cooper.
Mini Cooper.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Cool car.
Don't tell my mom.
Was
She'll
that
freak
hers?
out. No, but it looks just like it.
Oh.
Our number
Ricky.
one selling car is a Mini Cooper Countryman. That's weird. That's what my mother likes. All right, how long have we been on? 3 hours. Anything else you want to talk about? Jim Corvin, Storm Copper.
All good.
What's your name of your real estate? Corvin what?
Core Value Properties.
Core Value Properties.
Core
And
Value
where can
Properties.
listeners find you online?
Facebook.
That was such a podcast question.
It was.
That
Facebook.
was hilarious.
Facebook. Core Value.
You're probably going to get thousands of friend requests now.
You know, probably.
The last one I did, I got 57 views. I was 20 of them.
I do remember a meme you put out that got like 28,000 shares. But we're not going to talk about that.
That was not my fault.
Stop.
First of all, that was not my fault. So if you see a meme with my fat body on it, I'm not fat anymore, first of all. And that was not my fault. I technically deleted it.
He did. He deleted it. Somebody else took it and ran with it.
In case there's lawyers listening. Facebook, Jim Corvin. Anywhere else?
Core Value Properties.
Core
UT
Value.
Caveman on
UT Caveman on
with
Instagram.
With a K, like UT, like University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
Not Chattanooga, because the Mocs
Brian Burke.
suck.
Go Vols, Brian Burke.